My name is Ahjeawnna. I go by Taji. Welcome to the podcast, Sis, Hear Me Out. Hey, welcome to Sis, Hear Me Out.
Hear me out.
Anyway, that's Ahji. So, on this podcast is going to be a part 2 from the last episode. So the last episode was me interviewing Ahji about sisterhood, and I asked her 4 questions on the last episode, and I'm just gonna ask her one question here. I just want it to be a little quick one, and yeah, so she's been answering them so good. So I really want you guys to go check out the last episode, and I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Okay, I'll just doing the it's the way you act.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, or my twin, we be vibing. I don't know, I keep outside. Okay, if y'all know, that's on TikTok. Anyway, the next question, number 5, is what kept us close? Also, before she talks, she is my new co-host, and we're just gonna be doing this together. I feel like me and her are super vibrant towards each other, as you can see in the last episode, and we be vibing, talking, laughing, joking. Mm-hmm. Been doing that since, diapers. Mm. Okay, if you know the Cheetah Girls, it's Bubbles and Choochie, literally that. Okay, Bubbles and Choochie. Okay, I'm Choochie. That's Raven. Okay. Anyway, yeah, and so I just want to welcome her, and yeah, I hope you guys treat her as nice as you treat me.
Well, yeah. So, what kept us close? So that first part, because I know I keep bringing it up, but it's really that. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it's so funny. But that, for one. And
Wait, what's that?
Basically, just throughout, as I grew up, like, you always made a safe space for me to talk. Yeah. And so, that's what grew us closer. And so, like, even now, like, or, being that listening ear. Mm-hmm. Helping me be better. Mm-hmm. Telling me the real, no matter what, no matter how hard it is, or no matter what it is. Like, you always tell me, no matter what, like, hey sis, I know this happened, but yeah, this is what we got to do now. Yeah. Or you get on me when needed. Mm-hmm. Like that time when I was down deep during the summer. That's a whole nother story. Yeah. But down deep in the summer, and you like kind of just slapped that dumb out of me, like you was like, sis, what the like, like you're always there to pick me up, period. Like every single time you're there to pick me up. Okay, and you give it to it. You give me the truth. Yeah. And so not a lot of people get that. Us just be able to hang out, like, hey sis, let's go here, and you be down. Okay? Because nobody else be down. But you be down every time. You be like, okay, let's do it. Like, okay. That's what grew us closer to just being down for it, Yeah. Yeah. Just making me better. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I feel like, I also want to answer this question. I feel like there's a lot of times where Ahji checks up on me, or she'll be like, hey sis, what you doing? And I feel like that always feels like, wow, like, oh my, I was so hurt when I would see them when I first left for college. I was so hurt when I didn't like hear things, or like know things were going on. You know, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what the heck? And I feel like as we got older, we have connected because now we understand, like, what it is, you know, to be out of the space of, like, our parents' house, like mom's house and stuff like that. And so, I think a lot of the time when she reaches out and when she comes to me with problems, it's nice to like pick each other's brain about what we think about it and stuff like that. And that keeps us close because we're like, oh yeah. And like, oh, you know, and I feel like that's so important and so crucial when it comes to a sisterhood and someone that
makes us think.
Yeah, it really makes us think about the situation and also to see patterns. Like, and that's why I wanted to create Sis Hear Me Out, because I'm like, I want you guys to see the patterns in our life that we might be missing, or that like
might not be seeing.
We might not be seeing, or like or even to like think about your life and point out like, oh, this is a pattern. I am doing this pretty often, you know, because when me and Ahjee talk, we're sitting here going through every detail.
Man.
And we're like, oh my gosh, that happened the last time.
Yep.
How did I get here? How did I, you know, and why am I letting this happen? Or, you know, when it's a bad situation, even when it's a good situation, like we sit and reflect on how we even got there in the first place. And we thank the people that helped us and stuff like that. And so I feel like sisterhood is really being open and vulnerable with each other.
Yes.
Even when you don't want to, because a lot of the times you're scared, you know, to say what you got to say because there are people who, you know, use it against you or like don't have your back on it or judge you and stuff like that. And so I feel like we have that bond and we have built that bond that made it be like, we can say whatever we need to say. And that's because we're sisters. We've said the worst of the worst to each other. Yeah. Like, you know, the worst of the worst to each other. And like, even with my friends, like, Ahjee knows Lydia, Cassie, and G. Like, those are my really close friends right now. And, like, she knows I'm brutally honest with them. They're brutally honest with me. Like, it's really, really about being brutally honest with each other.
And telling the real.
Yeah, and telling the real, because you can speak life into that.
Literally.
You know? You can speak life into that. You can speak life into them. You can, like you said, you can pick their brain. And it's important to surround yourself around people that's like-minded.
Yeah.
Like, they know that you have to do better. They know that they have to do better. So that way, like the saying, iron sharpens iron type thing. Like, that thing is so real. And it's been proven in all of our relationships and our failed relationships. Relationships meaning guys and our friends.
And family.
And family.
And everyone.
You know, or even in, like, the workspace, too. Like, if you have a crappy boss, they're not going to teach you really well. But if you have a really good boss, you're going to have really good outcome. And then people are going to see you and be like, bro, they really know what they were talking about. They really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when you hang out with people that are like, not just like you, but, you know, they are striving for something, you see where they come into your life and they're like, okay, let's fix this in a loving way, not a way that is degrading or, you know.
Exactly.
Or anything like that. And it really be the degrading part, because I feel like that's where girls get scared of, like, opening up to each other and stuff like that, you know?
That's why I said it's not a competition.
It's not a competition.
And that's what that leads into. It leads into competition and trying to outdo one another, but it's not even about that. Like, sis, you got your own journey. He got his own journey. Like, it's different, but for everyone.
Right.
Everything is... Life is different for each and every individual.
Exactly.
So...
Exactly.
There's no point in competing at all.
No, there's no point, and... just to keep the faith. And like I said, this year or this month, this episode specifically, last episode and this episode, this is March. This is the time where we're settling into the year. We're really finding, like, our spot, whether it comes to school, work, home. We're finally getting to a rhythm, technically, in the American New Year. And we're starting to build, like, friendships and, you know, seeing out people and bringing in people, I feel like. So, I really, like, we really encourage you guys to, you know, call your sister and sister, like sister in Christ, you know, your actual sister, even though you, like, if you guys are not in a good place, or your friend, and talk to them and really see where you guys can, like, I don't know, sharpen each other's iron and sharpen each other's knives and stuff like that. I feel like this is an encouraging season to keep going and keep pushing. And yeah.
I also have another one too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another one that also motivates me real big to make sure that our relationship is close and stays close is the relationship that I see with my family and on top of mom specifically. Like the relationship between mom and her twin sister's relationship, like my auntie, like that right there is what motivates me to make sure that my relationships are good standing, and will continue to be in good standing with my siblings, because I don't ever want it to turn out that way ever. Yeah. Seeing the outcome of that, it's not pretty at all. Yeah. And it's not good for anyone, nor the environment. So
on both sides of our family, we struggle in being one. We struggle with hearing each other out, being honest, and sharpening each other's iron. Yeah.
And that comes within another story.
Yeah, and that's another story, you know. And so we'll definitely talk about that. We'll go back to that, but that's our basis. Our basis is our family, and where we can break generational traumas and communication and everything that's a curse, you know, everything that's going to hinder us. And we really do apply it into our inner circle, meaning all four of our sisters and our brother. We do have two other brothers, but that's another story. And you know, we would wish that we could communicate with them and be, you know, but that's another story. But we definitely try to implement that into our lives. And now we're starting families. You know, I have 2 kids, and from our tight-knit bond, I can move that to them. And then, you know, hopefully they understand and see what our siblingship is like. And friends, you know, they see my friends as family. You know, I call them the aunties and stuff like that. G, Lydia, and Cassie, they are people that I am around that I would love my kids to see our relationship and kind of get inspired from that. And so, I just want to say, really pick, you know, those brains. And you have anything else to say to Ahjie?
Just all in all, it goes with just choose who you be around. Like, be picky about who you be around. Actually, just be picky about who you be around, because that right there will determine your outcome. Yeah. Literally.
I agree.
Literally.
Well, thank you for listening to today's podcast about sisterhood. You can follow us at SisHearMeOut on Facebook,
Insta, and soon TikTok.
Thank you for listening to Sis Hear Me Out.